We're good. All right. Yeah, Darren is out entertaining company at the moment. Now that we're not snowed in, we've got our quarantine buddy and assistant for videos, Morgan. They're out there. Um, I think they're watching a movie right now, but they're planning on like some airbrushing and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, get ready. We got to cut some sheets into strips so we can mummify a real doll. So, yes. Howdy. Welcome everybody. Oh, and now that the world is finally opening up here, because the snow had everything down here shut down. The mail had like completely stopped, and everything. But I just got something in the mail yesterday, and you can see it. It's
nice.
Yeah, and I'll bring this to the camera. It's a they call this a clapboard or slate. They're what they use these for is if you have multiple cameras, the sound of that clack as you bring it down is something. It's a point that they can sync the sound on, so they can have all of the different camera rolls, set in time, and they're not off. And I got this because I have another camera and another tripod on order, so I can, do different camera angles when I'm doing videos. So our production value is going to go up for, the Kemetic how-to guide. I know we've been waiting on being able to do more episodes, but hopefully the wait will be worth it, and there will be some better quality in them. So, and I have to thank my Patreon supporters again, because you guys have made it possible for me to do this stuff. So, it was a great thing to get in there. Coyote teeth, hi there. And hopefully we'll see some other folks. I know usually Josh is on, and Scott, and I know some other folks. I'm getting where I know folks by name. Hopefully they'll be tuning in just a few minutes. But it's like we're all ready for spring now, and we're happy that the snow is finally melted. There's actually a few spots where there was ice that they had like scraped away from the parking lots, and you had these big piles of ice, and they're like down to just little chunks now, but they're still there. It's kind of weird. But
for the last 2 days, we went out and had like a picnic in the local park, right? All the wildlife, including the people, were out and cheerful and reacting. I was like, yes, it's like an early spring.
Yeah.
Everything's ready. They want to go. They want life.
Yeah. I'm. That's kind of how I am. It's like, yay, go outside. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. And it's nice to have. We're finally most of the taps in the house have water pressure now, so that's another good thing. Yeah. So we're all very happy, and looking at the calendar, because I do that. I a few days ahead of time I look to see what things are going on in the ritual calendar. What's closest to Friday, so that we have a theme for what the service is. And apparently the end of February, beginning of March is several holidays related to Ra, because this weekend you have Khepri goes forth, and Khepri of course is the scarab beetle, and so we have him at the front of the bark. And then on the 3rd is Ra goes forth and sails, and so that's all a good theme. So they're together, and that's what we're going to be, doing this evening.
We have the full moon coming up on us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you back, Coyote. And that's right. The full moon is tomorrow. This is a happy day in the eastern horizon. So happy day for us too. It's not snowing. And I saw a bit of news that you'd probably appreciate. Somewhere in Ohio, somebody called a bomb squad. The bomb squad on a suspicious bag at a church, And when they went to investigate, it was a cat and her newborn kittens.
Oh.
Yeah. So they took him to the local shelter, and they're doing fine, which is cool.
Oh, good.
So it was a cute bomb. Yeah. Oh, and you asked me what do I use for my calendar? Well, I tell you what, I'll show you what my original point of reference is, and I built from there. There's something called the Cairo Calendar. This was a papyrus document from late Egyptian history, and it has a few omissions and some holes in it, but it records a lot of feast days, and there's a translation of it in an old book. It's outdated in a few ways now, but this is an older printing. But if you get this book, Ancient Egyptian Magic by Bob Breyer, he puts the entire calendar in there. If I can find it. Here we go. And see, I even have it bookmarked. So see if I get it to where you can actually see. Well, kind of. Like, okay. Yeah, there you go. And you can see how it's got different days. And this is set for May. Now, what he did was he started from August 1st and made that New Year's. So what I had to do was kind of work backwards with pencil and paper, because I start on July 18th. That was historically when Sirius would rise over Egypt. Different places use different dates, and a lot of people try to calculate, the rising of Sirius for their area, but that means that your calendar is going to be offset depending on where you are. I figured let's just stick with something fairly consistent. But that's the point of reference. And so, I would have a harder time telling you based on this what the date is. But again, if I go to where I corrected it, okay, that's a little afterwards. Okay, yeah, all right. So what he has for March 17th, it would actually be the 3rd on mine. It is the day His Majesty Ra goes forth in his bark across heaven. There is feasting in Heliopolis. If you see anything on this day, it will be good. So it gives a forecast, but it also tells you, about some event that went on. And usually there's a feast day involved with that, because you can take that and you can, cross-reference it with other things, festival calendars and stuff like that. And there's actually a PDF document that I found somewhere that was somebody's dissertation talking about different calendars. And so I put all that together and made a more user-friendly version of it. And that is in my book, Celebrating the Egyptian Gods, because I put together one and I compare it against some of the Reconstructionist groups will start, and there's, is around August 9th, is where they start. So there we go. And so again, I pulled it up to May or thereabouts, but so that gives you an idea of what it is that I use as a reference. Hopefully that, answers the question.
Bob Breyer, he's an older one.
Yeah, and his focus of study seems to be more on
now.
Huh?
We don't really see him active as much now.
Yeah.
But he was pretty well known as a TV personality in the Egyptology.
Yeah, in the 80s. Like this book here is copyright 1980. And okay, yeah, that's some other stuff that he referred to. But this copyright is 1980, so that gives you an idea how old it is. You can find it on Amazon with a newer publication. There's a newer edition that was published not too long ago. But yeah, if you're trying to adjust it to a different date, then this is a helpful resource. But also I tried to compare current Kemetic groups and their calendars in celebrating the Egyptian gods. So, because I really like applying the KISS principle to calendars, being keep it simple, sweetheart.
I do believe he's one of the few people that pioneered the reestablishment of mummification.
Yes, he was involved because his area of research was more like doing mummies and stuff, and they actually recreated it, the process, and they mummified someone who, I guess, donated their body to science or something, and I think that person, they've got the mummy in a like a climate controlled environment, so they can study how well it's holding up. But yeah. So okay, yes, and following the sun, and I do have to say, I in 2017 I had to do an updated edition because I'd found more information, and stuff. So anybody who bought a copy of Following the Sun before then has the old edition. But when I find more important things to put in there, and that's got people ask sometimes, well, if you wanted to do Wheel of the Year, what would be the Egyptian equivalent of Lammas or Ostara or whatever? And a lot of purists will say, well, no, there wasn't such a thing. But people still want to know. They're trying to adapt as best they can. So somebody's got to try and answer the questions. So that's one of the things I did. And I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out for some fellow pagans from a related path, because the spring equinox is celebrated as like the Sumerian New Year. They have the Akitu festival, Sumerian or Mesopotamian. That's a lot more complicated. The Egyptians were a lot more straightforward in some ways, but that was when they would celebrate the marriage of Inanna and Dumuzi. And so that would be, if you wanted to do an Ostara theme with that, you very easily could. And also there's a gentleman on the Temple of Sumer group who is working on a ritual that's based on something associated with Inanna called the head overturning rite. And that was one of the things that apparently was involved in her worship was gender fluidity. And, you had men that would dress as women and women who would dress as men. And that was the head overturning rite was involved in that. And so he's adapting that for modern folks who are transgender. So, Alejandro, hello. Yes, Darren's not going to be joining us right now. They're, I don't know. I guess they're somewhere in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, I think. But I've kind of have been boycotting the Marvel movies. That's another story. So, okay, well, yeah, but Coyote, if you're interested in that sort of thing, just hop on over to the Temple of Sumer. And remember, it's Sumer, 1M. And one of their favorite jokes is people who misspell summer and make it Sumer. So, there was like some kind of Dairy Queen thing that somebody put up about, it was meant to be about summer, but it came out Sumer. And of course, they have a lot of fun with that. But look for that on Facebook, and that's one way you can find them. But anyway, and I am also on Discord. Finally, I'll have to put up like my username is Miss Tutami, and that's my character. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But I figured let's go ahead and get the ritual started. And I know folks are going to be tuning in as we go along. And at the end, I'll post links and stuff like that. So. These cool waters are upon our hands. They purify us, as Tefnut purifies us. Hail unto you, Notre Dame. We come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands. Our purity is within our hearts. And we have cast out all evil that pertains to us. Now, flick water in Darren's direction. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. And it's nice to have tap water that is not freezing cold. Okay, there we go. Come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light. The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light. The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes till none remain. Receive the light. The eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world. And we are purified with it. Receive the light. And we will light this candle for Sekhmet, the eye of Ra. We beseech you, great lady, to come in peace. There we go. All right, now. Ah. I also have fresh candle wax so we can replenish this candle when it's done. There we go. She's been getting a lot of activity in the last year. You know, I think in another month we will have been doing live services for a full year, if I remember right. So, okay. And welcome to everyone. Yes, and asking about a Discord. Yeah. Well, you know, I'll see if he wants to come and join us. And hey, Josh. Josh, I was just saying, I'm finally on Discord. My username is Miss Tutami. I'll have to spell that as my character name. But okay. Oh, building a bike. Nice. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the altar. This is the culmination of, gosh, how many years by now? Like 13, almost 14. Yeah, of you know, building a Kemetic altar. So you know, just to me, altars kind of reflect life. You know, the further you go, you know, the more you build, and it kind of it's a reflection of, you know, the your where you go, your experiences, what you collect, and you know, all that good stuff. So yes, and unfortunately, we're out of wine. I realized, much to my chagrin, this evening. So our offering tonight is, in terms of, you know, a libation, is Kahlua and Malibu rum. So we have the beginnings of a white Cuban going here. Unfortunately, wine is an appropriate offering for Ra, apparently, and we'll just have to catch up for him. Yeah, so
I suspect that honey would be too.
Yeah, and honey. yes, honey is associated with Ra, and well, I said I don't remember if it was white or red or both in terms of wine. But I do know that was like one of the things that was associated in particular with him. But yeah, we're just going to a little bit harder stuff this time.
Yeah, wine was one of those things that only the really, really rich people had mostly.
Well, I don't know about that, but I guess so. I know beer, pretty much everyone had that. And apparently the beer back then didn't have as much alcohol content in it. But it had, because the way they made it with the barley, it was like it was more stout and it was more like nourishing. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently a lot of them would drink it through straws.
Oh, I know definitely in Mesopotamia they did that. They would drink it through straws to, like filter out all the dregs and stuff. But okay. You arise in the Akhetis Khepri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven and Duat. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from noon at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra. Hail and praise unto you, O Nechiru, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out Disfet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us and your strength being within us. Take these, your cool waters that are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. O Ra Horaketi, O Yunachiru, these waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood, O Ra, O Yunachiru, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. We give you incense, great purity. Its fragrance is the eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. It cleanses you. It adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. O Yunachiru, we give to you this eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, O Nechiru. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. And of course, for the Aztecs, chocolate was food of the gods. So, yeah, that's sort of a new world take on, divine offering. So. The gardens prosper and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, O Yunachiru, Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine or Kahlua, and your water. And incidentally, yes, the glass has a big Decepticon symbol etched on it. There's two reasons for that. One, that's typically how I serve that beverage. But also, Khepri, the scarab, the name has been translated as the evolver, the one who evolves or who changes or transforms. So in kind of a homage to that, and indulging in one of the puns that the Egyptians love so much, we have a transformer symbol in an offering to Ra. Okay, come back here. Pure, pure is Ra Harketi within his house. Pure is Khepri within his house. Pure is Sekhmet within her house. Pure are the Kas of Ra Harketi Khepri, Sekhmet, with this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance thousands of offerings, all things good and pure, for Ra Harketi, Khepri, Sekhmet, and their in need, in every place that their immortal Kas dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Harketi. Come to your bodies, O Necheru. Come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people, raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra Harketi, Khepri, before Sekhmet. All life comes from them, all health comes from them, all stability comes from them, all good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time. Ora Harketi and your son, the Osir Nisu Keperura, your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these your offerings, and receive them from our hands. And in turn, we will make our offerings to our blessed dead. The eye of Horus, that it may light their way. In these cool waters from the table of Osiris. And Snickers bars. And yes, Wally, you have to share. I'll bring more, but you still have to share. That's funny. I can almost hear it. Not sure I want to repeat what he said, but one of those things. Cool. Yeah, and I'm just looking over the. Oh, crap. So I want to track it. Okay, yeah. Hopefully that didn't. Yeah, I noticed that it said that the connection was unstable. Hopefully there wasn't a big break. But I was just checking the comments and stuff. Yeah. Well, what's really funny talking about systems is you can actually go into a music store like Guitar Center or whatever, and they have these things that they call systems, and it's basically a long handle with a bunch of jingle bells attached to it, and it makes a different kind of sound. But yeah, if you're not ready for it, I guess the system, especially when the microphone picks it up, because that microphone's probably, in sound engineer parlance is probably peaking it, and going, the sound is a little harder than the microphone's prepared to pick up, and so it's going to distort it a little bit. But yeah,
basically, you could basically tell them combine the concept of the jingle bell
mm-hmm.
with the tambourine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, well, Coyote was just saying, that they have a sensitivity to sound, and that I can understand, especially if people with, some folks with neurological conditions can have sensitivity to it, so I can understand that. That's, if you need to, turn things down, what I can do is I'll let you know before, we do the systems again, so if you need to, turn down or something, But now you'll have to explain the pancakes, infinity size, but otherwise, yeah, I was just, peeking over to see, where we were in case I was missing anything, and yeah, like I said, I'll warn you ahead of time with the sisters. Now I am about to ring a bell, so if you're, concerned about noise, you might want to, turn the speakers down or something, because we typically do that. And just so you can see, this is the bell that I use whenever we're honoring the ancestors. This is actually a Japanese type of bell called a suzu. And this was part of my Buddhist altar. But one of the things that we would ring it for was, honoring the dead. And so that's something that I've carried over into this practice. So. Erkeru ta henket kakao after senator rahat kutnibet nafret wabet alket naturim and cow and aku punibu maakeru nibu kiru natura. A voice offering of 1,000 of bread and beer, beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which a god lives, for the cause of all of these aku, all true of voice before the great god. Okay. And I'm going to ring the sistrum one more time in order to present Ma'at. We come unto you, O Ra, as Jehuti comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your ka shall live. Truly your Enid has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Enid says unto you, your word is law eternally. Isfet is cast out by your word. Rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. May we always act with gentility and compassion, for such is the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality, for such is the second Ma'at. May we always respect consent and fidelity, for such is the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness, for such is the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth, for such is the fifth Ma'at. May we always promote the public good, for such is the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance, for such is the seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others, for such is the 8th Ma'at. May we uphold Ma'at like Jehuti, that we may witness Ra's perfection every day. Okay. So again, R comes before S. So here we go. All right. This is, I'll read it in English, but this is from, its original form was spell 335 from the coffin text. Then it became chapter 17 of the Book of the Dead. But we know that this is something that was, the Egyptians envisioned it as something to be read every day, in honor of Ra. So I'm going to ring the sistrum one more time. Now come to be the words of the Lord of all. I am a tomb when I was alone. I came into being in noon. I am Ra in his rising, in the beginning ruling that which he has made. I am the great God who came into being himself, the waters, noon, the father of the gods. What does it mean? It is Ra who created the names of his limbs. They have come into being as the gods in Ra's suite. I am unopposed among the gods. I am yesterday. I know tomorrow. What does it mean? Yesterday is Osiris. Tomorrow is Ra, on that day of destroying the wicked foes of the Lord of all and crowning his son Horus. I made the battleground of the gods as Osiris, Lord of the Western Desert, commanded. I know the great God who is in it. I am the great phoenix who is in Unu, also known as Heliopolis. I am the overseer of that which exists. What does it mean? It is Osiris. Otherwise said, that which exists is his body. Otherwise said, it is eternal renewal and everlastingness. Eternal renewal is the day. Everlastingness is night. I am Min in his going forth. I have placed the dual plumes on my head. I am the great cat who split the Ished on its side in Unu on that night of war, of warding off the rebels on that day on which were destroyed the wicked foes of the Lord of all. What does it mean? That great cat who split the Ished tree on its side in Unu is Ra himself, called Cat, when Sia said of him, how like him by what he has done, and his name became Cat, which again is another pun in Egyptian because me, like, and mew, cat, sound similar. Wrongdoing is overthrown, evil is destroyed. I have seen Ra born of the hindquarters of the great flood. If he is well, then I am well, and vice versa. And we'll read also for Sekhmet. We had some requests of prayers for healing, protection for our frontline workers, our essential workers and healthcare workers. So we definitely want to ask for their blessing. Hail Sekhmet the Great, Eye of Ra, who hides him within her iris. Hail Sekhmet, sovereign, mistress of light who moves in brightness. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of darkness, at whose setting the darkness comes. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of fear, whose seal brings death. Hail unto you, Sekhmet, daughter of Ra, who loves Ma'at, who detests Sfet. Most holy of the gods, one seeks life in you. Please bring protection and healing as we continue to fight this pandemic. May we see the light at the end of the tunnel, and may it be Ra shining on us with blessing and hope for a better day. And, okay. Okay, yeah, so Saran was just explaining the thing. I think I've seen the little sticks that you're talking about. It's kind of like a forked stick. It's like a Y, and it has the crossbars. Those are kind of neat. And so Okay, yeah, neat, yeah. Hmm. Pancakes infinity size. We have some of the perfect intentions. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and I know we had some prayer requests, people who, were asking for blessings for health and, looking after our healthcare workers and folks that are hoping to find love and companionship, and asking Hathor to guide them in that. And I'll also ask for Hathor and for Inanna. That's also her purview, including our friend out front, Morgan. That's always the bummers when somebody gets a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they don't want to spend time with you anymore. Let them be somebody that can be part of the fold. So. And if anybody's got some requests, for prayers and of course divinations, we have plenty of fortune cookies. Yeah, I will open the floor for that.
My sister wants one, and I'd like one.
Alrighty. Okay, we'll do Shannon, and then we'll do one for you. Okay. I'm going to try and reach around and not jostle the camera. There we go. Okay. For Shannon, who's been so kind and supportive. What fortune do we have for her? And it says, a good beginning is half the task. That's for Shannon.
That's different.
Yeah, so.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I get the sense, the sense that I'm getting is, good beginning is half the task. Don't start there, keep going. Whatever it was that you started on, see it through.
That's very fitting. I like it. For my situation.
Cool. Okay, and Yamanu. Here says, indulge yourself, but with moderation.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't see you being the kind of
I'm sure there's something, but
yeah, I guess now's not the time to start being moderate. but yes, go ahead and enjoy yourself. Okay, that's where I went. All right.
Oh, good. You found some, huh?
Okay. Alrighty. Hard shell or soft shell? Okay. Sonia has a question for hard shell or soft shell. I'll tell you what, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, Josh wants a divination, asking Jehuti, what message he has. So, yes, and Jehuti is on the altar right behind Ra. So, all right, wait. Okay, you know what? I think that was a pretty clear sign because I shook it and this one flew out. So here we go. Josh, this is yours. Okay. Bird is the word. And the word is, man is what he believes. There you go. Man is what he believes. He believes something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself.
Okay. Let's see. And Wolf needs 1. And Coyote has asked a request for protection for a friend and his children. Absolutely. Let's pull a cookie for Wolf. All right. Okay, Wolf says, make it a rule of life, never to regret and never to look back.
Huh.
So I guess there might have been something bothering you, or you're thinking about something. Don't worry about it. Don't regret. Don't look back. Just move forward.
Let it go.
Believe it or not, I've never watched Frozen. I'm not familiar with the song, so you know. But yes, and Coyote was asking. So Ra and Sekhmet. Sekhmet, I got a feeling that I need to ask you about this. Coyote has a friend and his family that need protection. If you would keep your strong arm before them and around them, and your eye over them, and keep them safe. Okay. And all right, okay, turned up needs divination. Asking for Jehudi for help with my relationship. Absolutely. And then next would be Brian. Okay, Katie's got a left eye drooping. Okay, and then before it goes to the vet tomorrow. Okay, well, definitely. I hope it turns out to be something good. All right, so okay. And real quick, nothing had a question. Who created the world, the Sumerian or Kemetic gods? I asked that question once in front of my altar, not this one, but older, because I was going, okay, well, then who is the creator? And the answer I got was rather interesting. The words were, "It is an empty chair." Now, what that means, as I, thought about it and tried to listen and see what they had to say. There even the Egyptians themselves had different deities that they credit as the creator. Ra is one, Neith is one, Ptah, Amun. And I think that was the crux of my question was, well, which one is it? And the answer they were trying to give me was, all of us and none of us. The idea of the creator is, and that's something it's you kind of have to just think about it, and it's very difficult to put that into words. But so who was the ones that created the world? Was it Enlil, or was it being one of the Sumerian gods, or was it Ra? Well, the creator, it's like everything was coming to being at the beginning, and they didn't even have the separate names at that point, separate identities. It was, if you think about the Big Bang and what science understands of it now, you didn't even have, the elements hadn't even separated yet. You didn't even have the different forces of gravity and electromagnetism and all that. Those things kind of separated out as the universe was forming. So, that's why you can't say which one, was the creator, because it was all, a single entity, and we were all one with that entity at that point. It's only now, things diversify as creation moves along. Hopefully that, kind of gives you, a frame of reference. Because I asked that question too.
In a Kemetic perspective, Atum, well, every one of them embodies a fragment of what we think of as the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had to.
Yeah, because
Khepri would have been like the spark,
or I think Khepri meaning like instance of happening. When things, the first thing that happened, boom, you have Khepri, and then that's why Khepri is also represented as a child, and then Khepri took, evolved again, and then you had Ra, and then you evolved again, and you have something else, and Atum means like totality. Actually, I think the name can mean like either totality or nothingness. And that's interesting too. When you think about it, there, everything was possible, but nothing had been created yet. So, that's getting into some, deep philosophical stuff there. But Turduk had a request for a divination, and here we go. Keep true to the dreams of your youth. So there you go, Turduk. And if you've got some things that you're, some things that you're working on, or some dream or something, that's something you've always wanted to do, don't give up on it. Keep going. That's what they're doing. They're giving you that encouragement. So tell you what, Brian had asked for a divination, and I think this is the one that's calling for you. So we're on Brian's, and then we'll go and check and see who else needs one. It says, minds are like parachutes. They only function when they are open. So keep an open mind about something. Because there may be some kind of a decision or something that you need to make, and in order to make the best one, you're going to need to keep an open mind on that. So. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Josh was asking, is your divination done? I had to tell my roommate to stop downloading. Okay, yeah. Well, actually, yes, I did get yours, Josh. Just as a recap, yours was man is what he believes. So that is direct from Jehuti. So, and oh, hi, Adrena. Good to see you. Let's see, and okay, I'm just scrolling back to make sure I've got everyone. Yeah, I got Turduk. We answered nothing's question. And yeah, recap for that, and let's see. Together, yeah. Oksana Amun. No, well, there's a deity with the name Amun. Oksana, I don't. That sounds like it's coming from somewhere else, but yeah. And Adrena wants a divination related to career. Okay, well, we'll get to that, but Wait a minute. Wait. Hang on. I think this one. Okay, so Adriana, I think this one is yours. Oh, this is neat. It says, man's mind is not a container to be filled, but rather a fire to be kindled. So relating to career, hopefully that seems like something that might be, specific to something. But man's mind is not a container to be filled, but rather a fire to be kindled.
It suggests that there is no capacity. It'll feed constantly. So wherever you throw in it, it'll consume it.
Well, actually, what it makes me think of is Einstein's quote about, imagination is more important than knowledge. Because if you think about knowledge, when we think of that, like education, you're filling, traditionally we thought of it as, filling your brain with facts. Well, the facts are nothing unless you use them, unless you apply them. And, that fire, is the imagination. That's the hit that I'm getting, Adrena, that's for you. So hopefully that you can see something there that goes, aha, that fits.
Yes, hopefully.
So okay, and now we're doing Serana. All right, so okay. See, there we go. Yeah, awesome. Now Serana's turn, and wait a minute. Okay. Okay, wow. Serana, yours says, always accept yourself the way you are. So there you go. Don't worry about trying to be something else. Accept yourself the way you are. Okay. Okay, just Serana. We're going to request a divination for a guy I'm pretty sure about. Become official with this next week, yes or no? Which is okay. So you want kind of a yes or no. You know what? For things like that, I guess I need to pull the sticks back out. It's funny. Just earlier this week, I was teaching someone how to throw Senate sticks. So. Let me go ahead. Whoop. Now, just so you know what we're doing here. This is my Senate board, the one that we did the Let's Play on. Oh, and incidentally, there's apparently there are physical copies that you can buy of the game of Ur. It's a Mesopotamian game. It got imported to Egypt as 20 squares, and so there's some crossover there. But we were thinking of doing another Let's Play with that, and that'll be more interesting because I don't know the rules to that game. We'll be learning as we go. But for Senate, you can also use the sticks for divination. Your marked sides are positive, so this would be like 100% yes. Generally this, negative. You don't count it if you're, using it like dice. So you're wanting to know. Oh, hang on. Yes. Okay. I don't know. What class happens the same time as the service? Oh, college. Yeah. Thank you. Room for. Okay, hey, hold on, nothing. I'll get to that because Josh's question about somebody, and they're wanting to know if they need to, if they should go to the next step. And we ask you. Okay. I see 3 up. I'll try and tilt it so that you can see. Just the way it fell. So that's, I would say that's fairly positive. Go ahead. So there you have it. I would consider that, yes, go ahead. Follow it where it goes. Don't burden yourself with too many expectations, but enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. This is part of living. So go for it. That's kind of the sense I'm getting. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. And there's someone else tuning in. You must be tuning in England. I'm guessing if it's 4 a.m. I think I remember you saying. But you know what? If you're asleep by the time this goes live, at least that means you've got a good sleep schedule. Okay. Over here, staying inside and working from home has us so screwed up. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm probably still going to be up. But yeah. And that's awesome that they recovered. Wonderful. And instead of invisible beings. And Serrano was answering the question that nothing had about does the Kemeticism make room for fairies, dwarves, elves? Yeah, they had lots of little types of spirits that they envisioned, but remember it kind of reflected the world around them. And so if you look at like the underworld texts, the pictures that they have, there's lots of like snakes with legs and wings and things like that, because that's what they imagined. And the dwarves weren't something imaginary to them. They had because there were pygmies and people. I guess small people is how you would say it nowadays. But and they were actually kind of highly regarded as magical. Because they were different. Because they were shorter. So yeah, I mean, you could probably work with beings like that. In a Kemetic sense, it's just you'd be kind of, it would be a modern adaptation. Yeah. But yeah. So, okay. Well, because of lag and things like that, I'm going to give you guys, a few more minutes in case anybody's got another request or another, for divination or for prayers, questions on things. I hope everyone's been doing well. I'm also going to ask, for blessing on all these prayer beads. I made a whole bunch of them over the last week, and I want them to get all this the love and the good vibes and the blessings from the various deities that they've been made for, so that that wonderful energy can go to the people that buy them, and can bring good fortune for them. Yeah, so and I hope that everyone does well, that for those of us in the northern hemisphere, that spring comes and brings better tidings. And I know in the southern side of the world, it's getting close to fall, and may that bring good things to fruition. If there's, I think there's been drought and fires and stuff down there, may that come quickly to an end and be replaced with rain and coolness, but not cold like we're having here. So I'm going to ring Sister one more time. Hear us, O Ra, great Lord of Yunu, and place your arms in blessing around all of those who are tuning in. Let them rejoice in your bounty and their hearts take joy in your kindness. Tell Neet and Upwo to open their ways for them, and may you protect them with your strong arm of compassion. For you are the All-Lord, the Lord of Ma'at. Holy and splendid is your name. Khepri at dawn, Atum at dusk, Ra Horaketi as you rule the nine. Okay. Put it right there. Okay. All right. Well, glad you could peek in, Jessica. You sleep good. Yeah. And Josh wants a petition to Jehuti as he continues on coursework. Yes, for inspiration, diligence in coursework, and aid in not feeling so overwhelmed. Yes, absolutely. Jehuti, may you continue to look after all of our students, especially as they get through another year of non-traditional classes, I guess we can put it that way. There's a lot of stress in the world. Being a student is stressful enough. Please help them to navigate all of this and to continue to do your work in learning and seeking wisdom. And because the full moon is tomorrow, definitely we want to say our thanks to Jehuti. All right, I'm going to ring the sistrum one more time. Hail Jehuti, true scribe of the Aeneid, who reckons the months, the days, the hours, who restores the sound eye to fullness. You return the eye of Ra to her place on the brow of her father, and the Aeneid of the gods rejoices. Hail and praise unto you, O Jehuti, thrice great God, the son of Ra, Lord of Khemenu, wise one and Yunu. You report to Ra every morning. Messenger of humankind, you know people by their speech and judge them by their deeds. Those true of voice before Osiris, their names are in your list. The Aeneid gives you praise as you guide the bark of millions, as you cast out the evil one, as you change strife into peace. You know all secrets, all books, all deeds, the fleeting moment, the hour of night. No report to Ra is forgotten. Your words endure for eternity. Friend of the people, wise and impartial, great one, Lord of Ma'at. Okay. As for birthdays, well, they celebrated birthdays. As for doing something special, not that I know of, I think it was just it's like a party. And we know this because there was a wisdom text from fairly late in their history, it's in one of my anthologies, and the advice that they're giving is that if you're going to borrow money, do it for something, like to celebrate your birthday and not to just live on, and it's actually good financial advice. If you're borrowing money just to live on, then that means, like, if you're living on credit cards, that means somewhere you're not making enough money. You're going to end up, in a lot of debt. But if you're just putting one thing on a credit card, like celebrate your birthday, you can pay that off. So, but we know because of that, birthday parties were a thing. So. But, okay. Well, I'm going to start wrapping this up. Thank you guys, as always. Tell you what, as I mentioned earlier, I am finally on Discord. What I'm going to do is, and if you want to know who is Miss Tutami, this is her. That's my character. And let's see. Hello. Her plushie is actually 20 years old. But that's she's also a character in my books, but that's my the username that I created on Discord. I don't know if you can. I just got on it this afternoon, so I created a couple of servers. I can share the little chats. You can. I'll give you the links for that. I don't know if you can look up people by their username or not. So let me go ahead and put that up, and that way you can find me. Try not to sit on my Senate board. Oh, okay, so you need the username and the 4-digit number that follows. Okay, now I can't pull that up without ending the little chat with Yamanu on my phone. So what I'll do, I'll give you the link for Mr. Tommy's server, because I did copy that on the computer or her chat. And so that's one way that you can find me. Just yeah, and I also and I know that Josh has Josh Von Noctis has a Kemetic community server. Just go ahead and I created another one, so just come find me on that one. We can cross fertilize, So I made one, and this one is meant to be for the Kemetic reform. So if you watch me on YouTube and you're like, hey, how do I get in touch with you? That's another way finally that you can try and do that. And like I said, I just started it, so bear with me. Okay, let me make sure I got the correct link. Yeah. Now the reason why I went with something that wasn't specifically Kemetic is because apparently there are fan artists that are also on Discord, and so there's other people I'm going to be looking for, and doing other things, so I figured that way I can cover as many bases at one time. So let me go ahead and so again, if you're tuning in and you need to turn down for sound, there's when we do the making the offerings endure at the end, that tends to involve a lot of ringing cisterns, so I want to turn down the volume for this. But hail unto you, Atum! Hail unto you, Khepri! You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Yunu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure, as the name of Atum, foremost of the great need, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Yunu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Yunu, endures. As the name of Geb at the Earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the Shrine of Shanit in Yunu endures. As the name of Osir, Kentiamentiu, endures. As the name of Aset in Nicheru endures. As the name of Sutek in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pe endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehutin, Chemenu, endures. As the name of Ra in the Aket endures likewise for eternity. Okay. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Sekhmet, O Ma'at, O Yunechiru. May you go forth in peace, O Ra. May you go forth in peace, O Sekhmet, Khepri, Ma'at, O Yunechiru. May you go forth in peace to every place your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Manjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay, yeah, and I do have someone who a viewer that has been asking about the little boats, and the thing with those is there's like a little Cajun shop that makes there's somebody who makes those, and I don't want to put one on up for sale on my store until I have like a couple of them to list, so that because the thing I've had is I'll list something and if it's like just one of it, boom, it's gone. So I'm like I need to make sure I have enough for everybody. So that's what I'm working on. This one kind of, it was meant to be in the store, but I've had to use it. I'm like, you know what? It's the perfect size for this altar, so I need to get another one. So in case y'all were wondering, for doing sailing feasts, I'm working on getting, more boats so y'all can do that. But oh, did you just tune in, Zerdioku? Because we're actually wrapping up. Hopefully you can go like rewind and catch the rest of it. But I'll wait just a minute in case you want to do like a request for a prayer or divination or something like that. Yeah. But otherwise, I just wanted to tell everyone, as always, we're glad to have you here. Okay, we had midterms to finish. Yeah, that's right, because it is getting to be about that time, isn't it? And goodness. Yeah, you must be on the semester system, because I've gone to college on the semester system and also the quarter system, and that's kind of weird because quarter system, you end up having finals before Christmas, and then or in Thanksgiving, and then you start a new quarter, and then when everybody else is doing midterms, you're switching to spring quarter. But that's another thing. Yeah. But yes, and absolutely, we're coming up on a year of having done these, and it's been great, and I the feedback that I've gotten has been really wonderful, and I'm glad I'm able to do this for folks. Yeah, and don't worry, we'll have Darren back next time. I think Morgan was a little shy to participate this time, so. But that's okay. We're gonna get him to help us mummy wrap a real doll. But yes, I finally made a Discord, and I'll go ahead and check it out. And let me go ahead and do a divination for you, Zodioku, since you're doing midterms. I guess they wanted to make sure that you came in. So Ra, if you would. Okay. All right, this one right here. Zuriuku, this is for you. A little bit of advice from Ra as you go through midterms. Life is not a struggle, it's a wiggle. So I guess considering you're doing midterms, don't sweat it. Don't blow it up to be something really big in your mind. You got this. It's not a struggle, it's a wiggle. So there you go. I think that was the God's way of saying, don't worry, keep on keeping on. And we love you. Yes, Ra does have a sense of humor, but it's kind of dry. So yes. Okay. Yes, and absolutely. And I feel like if my life were a little more organized, I'd love to do more services during the week, or like do things like for the phases of the moon or something like that. But right now we're just got to concentrate on keeping these going on Friday nights, because the rest of the time it gets kind of strange around here. But it's great to do, and we love it. Love you guys, and look forward to seeing you again next week. Oh, okay. And okay, so I see somebody else has got a Discord. I'm going to try and type that in, see if I can look you up. But much love, everyone. Blessed be.